after the Magus of Chaos explodes, and there's no trace of him left, Dragon Lord comes descending from the ceiling and says, "What on earth is going on in my castle?" And then his eyes meet with Diokar's.
Hi.
Oh, Diokar, the Cauldron Master, or perhaps I should call you we called you back in Overlord School, the Soup Boy. I would like some clam chowder, please.
Listen, I make a great clam chowder.
And that's
I'm not
why
giving
I'm
it to
asking you for some. That's all you're good for, after all.
I know what would be better than clam chowder. Dragon Lord chowder.
Well, that doesn't make sense. You can't make clam chowder out of a dragon overlord.
That's why I said Dragon Lord chowder.
Silence! You are in my domain. You will speak when you are spoken to.
Listen, I'm the Cauldron Master here, and I'm pretty sure that we could make a Dragon Lord chowder. I mean, it's not too hard.
My family's jewels are in your castle, so it seems that you aren't really good at respecting bounds, are you?
Well, if your family really wanted to keep that treasure, they should have fought a little harder when they were protecting it. No, they obviously wanted me to have it. Otherwise, they would have fought a little bit harder. Your daddy screamed real good before he died.
See, Dragon Lord, that's just terrible. You shouldn't make fun of Cinnamon here and the fact that you're playing with his daddy's family jewels all the time. That's just not cool, man.
Diokar, phrasing! At any rate, I've allowed you all to cause enough trouble in my castle as it is. Plus, you've also killed my second in command. The price for that will be paid in your blood. And so, battle begins with the Dragon Lord. All right. And so, since this is the climax, he's going to be the lead actor for this scene. So he goes first. And so he rears up his staff high above his head, and he brings it crashing down upon Cinnamon's head. That should actually be 7 because I forgot to do the K2 part.
Okay. So I'm going to use Scaly Shell. Alright, so I take 2 HP and 2 energy damage.
No, only one. Only one.
Oh.
Because that 8 should actually be a 7, because I put the command in wrong.
Okay. Invincible power, more like sucky power.
Alright, and it is now Diokar's turn.
Alright, I want to make an attack against him, and I'm going to use Overwhelming Presence, so +3 now, I guess. We roll a lot of 1s.
What are we waiting for?
I'm looking up what his defense skills are. I kind of forgot what they were.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Alright, so all the lights start growing dim inside the hall that he's in. He's like, I will show you what a true Dark Overlord is capable of. And everything starts going dark, and there's shadows that start cloaking around him. But your fist finds its way straight through the darkness and right into his face, dealing 1 damage. Wait, hold on. I messed up again. That should actually be 3 damage he takes.
Yeah.
It's like, ow! That's cheating! You always were a cheater! That was the only way you could get ahead. You could even pass, Deokar!
Wouldn't it be good to cheat in an Overlord school?
Silence! Anyways, it's your turn, Cinnamon.
Oh, Dragon Lord, I don't believe you know what you're dealing with. I'm not just a dragon. I'm one with style. And Cinnamon strikes a pose and then breathes fire down on the Dragon Lord.
Alright, so you rain fire down upon him. And he tries to pull up a magical barrier that'll absorb all the fire, but he's just a second too late, and you incinerate him. But since he is the last boss, he needs 3 marks before he's considered having a bad end. So let's see what mark he gets. 8. Physical mark number 8 is... Alright, when the smoke and flame clears, he's not quite as dark of a shade of blue. It's more of a bluish gray now. He's like, you singed off my makeup! You naughty, naughty little dragon!
You would know all about being naughty, wouldn't you?
Grrr. And so you see a sort of spectral glowing going around his hands, and he lunges his hand at Cinnamon's throat. And he is going to tap 8. I actually did that one correctly this time.
Alright, I'm going to use Scaly Shell. And I take another 1 to HP and energy.
He manages to put his hands around Cinnamon's neck, and there's sort of the glowing around his hand intensifies, and you see some of the color ever so slightly restoring to the Dragon Lord's face. And it is now Deokar's turn.
I'm gonna kind of jump up on the altar and spin my staff above my head and bring it down on top of him.
All right.
So overwhelming presence plus an attack. Oh,
Ooh.
Is there any critical success in this game?
I don't think so. Just having like the max roll possible is a success on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see how he's gonna beat that.
Yeah, he really can't beat that, it seems. So while he's distracted trying to drain the life out of Cinnamon, you interrupt him by just thwapping him upside the head with your own staff. And that is enough to damage him once again down to 0 HP and give him another mark. And that is mark number 7, which is... Yeah, you send him flying to the ground, through the altar, and through the wooden floor that makes up the dais that the altar is sitting on. You all just sort of fall through that hole into the cellar underneath this grand hall. You're back in the dank, damp cave again.
Haha, take that, loser.
Loser! At least I'm an overlord! You're a 2-bit soup master! Your staff isn't even a staff, it's a giant wooden spoon!
Oh yeah! I wondered why it was shaped like that. Thanks, guy.
Oh my goodness, he forgot he was a soup boy! Anyways, it's Cinnamon's
Cauldron master.
Anyways, it's Cinnamon's turn.
She stares down the Dragon Lord. So you're talking about screaming, huh? Well, now it's your turn to scream. I want to see how loud you can get when I'm tearing my claws into you. And she just goes on a massive rampage and digs her claws and swipes at him over and over again.
All right, roll for it. Ooh, yeah. So he tries to draw upon the darkness of the room that he's in to further blind you. But, Cinnamon, your claws are just swinging too wildly and too furiously and swiftly. It doesn't even matter if you can't see. Just by the law of probability, the more swings you make, the more likely you are to hit. And you manage to prove that theory true. As you dig and rip into him with every scream, making it more obvious where your next swipe should be placed. He gets his final mark, and he gets his final physical mark, and we will roll for his bad end now. Bad end number 6. Which is the same as the one that the Magus of Chaos had. It says, I'll show you what a true Dragon Lord is. And so once again he performs the same trick as the Magus of Chaos, screams at the top of his lungs, and the castle that you all are in starts toppling over, and
yes,
everything.
This was a load bearing boss.
Yes, he was. Yeah, that entry number 6 is actually called recklessness, and it causes the person who got it to just go mad and attack recklessly, dealing 1d6 HP damage to everyone in the scene. So that's why I had the Magus of Chaos blow himself up, and why the Dragon Lord is a load-bearing villain. So, both of you take 5 HP damage as the castle starts falling around about you, and rubble starts raining down.
Oh, that was more effectual than the actual fight.
And so, the Dragon Lord's castle is in ruins, and you have no idea what happened to the Dragon Lord after you made it out as the castle tumbled around you. But on the bright side, all of his minions were driven away, and you can start digging. And you can now start digging. And now, Cinnamon, you can start digging your way through the rubble to reclaim your family treasure. And Deokar, you just defeated the most powerful overlord in the territory. I think that effectively makes you the most powerful overlord.
Ha ha ha! He kind of jumps up and down. Never underestimate the power of soup.
Deokar, I got some words for you. Don't make the mistake this guy did, or it'll be my claws into your skin.
Says, "Hey, Cinnamon, buddy, I don't want your dad's family jewel."
You gotta be more careful with your words.
All right, and we will end it there.
Hey, Cinnamon, let's celebrate. I'll make soup.
As long as you're not expecting me to heat it up.
All right, and what normally happens at the end of a scenario is you restore your HP to max, you remove all your flags and marks. Basically you recover from all damage that you've taken. And neither of you got a bad end, so we don't need to roll for that for your characters. And you would level up one more time since you completed the scenario. But I, unfortunately, do not have the campaign rules translated yet, so this is where the story's going to have to end for now.